Hello, everyone, and welcome to In the Know 360, show hosted by me, Annette, the warm hearted warrior diva. My show gives you insights on the journeys of high achieving business owners and music artists who share with our audience the importance of building a strong community of like minded individuals on the road to greater success. This evening show is a collaboration with a special guest, Miss Nala. And in
Hi,
the
guys.
360, yay!
Yes.
Uh, Miss Nala is the host of her own podcast called Nala's Den in Jacksonville, Florida. She also collaborates as the host and brand ambassador of Power 904 Online Radio. Nala has the fastest growing platform on our radar magazine. She is a true lioness like me. Uh, and it shows through her work ethic by consistently publishing content and showcasing phenomenal interviews on multiple social media platforms. Welcome, Miss
Hey, you
Nala.
guys.
So I have several questions for you. No,
Okay.
no pressure, but
I'm not
yeah, you get. All right. So the first question is, who or what inspired you to start your podcast, and can you recall the exact moment that you knew you wanted to pursue this career path?
Yes. People is what got me started doing my podcast. I dealt with a lot of being not able to speak out. People would get defended or feel like what I said was too harsh, or people are not used to people being blunt all the time. Even my whole own family, I would talk to my mom, be like, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. So the only way I felt that I could speak out was through my podcast. I'm like, somebody gonna listen to me. So I just took that and I started hosting into different clubs. But through the different clubs, I saw that people was dealing with more mental stuff than music and producing or DJing. It's like these people are still real people at the end of the day. Like they deal with stuff and I deal with stuff. So, you always feel like you gotta put up a front or an entourage for the media. And it's like we still go through stuff, people. Like, and if we don't fix our mental, then we can't go forward. It's hard to pursue things forward if you don't fix yourself. So that's what got me started doing this. And that was like 5 years ago.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, when I saw you, first I was following Power 904, then I saw you and I was like, oh, yes. And I found out you were a Leo. I was like, oh, yes. We're right on
I know
point.
that's what I was like. I was like, who is this? And I'm like, why is there a connection, but there's no connection? And I even asked the CEO of Power 904, I'm like, do you know who this is? And she's like, I'm like, well, she's following us.
Well, I'm so grateful to be part of the family as well. Just like you're
Yes.
part of a family here. And this is not going to be our last interview. It's just our
Nope.
first, our beginning. Look, I have so many things, but I'm going to track track the time because I know you're a busy woman. So, what challenges have you faced during your journey on becoming a podcaster, and how have you persevered despite the challenges?
Well, my biggest challenge was overcoming. I was an alcoholic. I dealt with alcohol really, really bad. When I first started hosting, I saw so many things and I didn't know how to deal with people because I didn't know how to deal with myself. So I would drown myself in alcohol. It was terrible. I would just sit there at the bar and constantly drink. But I ended up counseling myself. I went to
Uh-oh.
Georgia. I was in Florida. I moved back to Georgia and isolated myself from the world. I took myself off social media, just tried to figure out what was wrong with me.
Mm.
And when I started doing that, I was like, it's more to life again.
Mhm.
You know, I could speak about this. And then I went through this big depression state with one of my friends, and he was like, you got so much potential. Like, why do you feel so? And I'm like, I can't do this. You know, people gonna look at me, they're gonna judge me. And it was like, okay, and how many more alcoholics are out there? Or how many more women deal with the same stuff that you deal with? And I was like, you're right. So I took that. That was one of my biggest challenges. I still do drink, but not as much. I drink wine instead of hard liquor and alcohol. If I do drink hard liquor, it's a shot, but I'm trying to basically stay away from it. That was one of my biggest challenges. The second one was facing people. I was afraid to. Once I figured that people would get offended, I started shutting down. Like if I said it this way or this way, you know, people wouldn't take me as myself. But again, you got real friends that be like, I like you for who you are. Like, why are you changing?
Right.
And I'm like, but I can't keep nobody around me, you know, and I would feel a certain way. I would cry about it because I'm like, I really love people. I mean, why? So I understood that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I began to I went to school for business and began to change the way I talk and the way I dealt with people. I learned when to say things and when not to say things. Um, as a Leo, that's really hard to do sometimes because it's like I'm finna tell them about themselves. That's just dead wrong, and it's like, no, it's not the time. Just chill, you know. So I'm still learning that as I grow. That's still one of my biggest challenges. And my last challenge was I found out I was pregnant and didn't know I was pregnant. So I was 8 months pregnant doing my podcast. I had moved back to Jacksonville, Florida. So my goal was to get out in the field and just love people. And one day I got really, really sick and I told my best friend, I'm like, I don't feel good and I hope I don't got COVID or nothing like that. And she's like, well, we need to go to the doctor. So we go to the doctor and I was 6 months pregnant. So
Wow.
full time podcasting, working a full time job, going out at night, staying late nights. I was never sick. It was like God was really carrying me and trying to help me stay strong through the whole thing. Because even through the baby, like I had the baby, nobody knew. I went to Southwest by Southwest. I was out there 8 months pregnant.
Wow.
Doing what I was doing, and I'm like, I'm determined. I'm just like, it's hot, but you know, we drove all the way there, did what we had to do, came back, and then had a baby, and born now.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And nobody knew through the whole thing. I just kept going and kept going and just kept going. So it's still a challenge because my kids are grown, and I started completely over. So it's like a new mom all over again.
Well, it's a blessing. That keep look, kids keep you young, okay? I got
They
three
do.
too. I got three of those running around, so I
Yeah.
feel your pain.
Well, I got a 24 and a 21, and I have four grands. So then
Oh wow.
this baby comes, and it's like, what am I doing?
Well,
Yeah,
well, you'll always have company, that's for sure.
right. But I also felt like it was teaching me a lesson. Through my younger years of having kids, I was always so hardcore. But with this one, I'm really emotional. Like I'm really intact with my feelings with this baby. So you know, even dealing with people now, I'll be like, oh, well, maybe I should. When your feelings, just chill, you know, because I'll get into my feelings where I feel like I got to do more than what I should do, and then get
Right.
taken advantage of, or something like that. So yeah, this baby is really softening my heart.
Aw. See?
Yeah,
It all worked out for the best.
yeah, he softened it up.
That's so cute. Um, so how would you describe Nala? How would you describe yourself? Besides
Okay.
being a Leo. Because we
So
know.
so that's the thing. So Nala is my alter ego. Lamika is my real name. So Lamika
Mhm.
is actually an introvert. Nala is an
Mm.
outrovert. She loves people. She's spontaneous. She's ready to take over the world. But when I take that off, then I'm just a total introvert. Like I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to people. I like to watch TV, be in my
Mhm.
books, or
Mhm.
yeah, Nala is this wild, courageous, let's go jump off a mountain type of person.
Look, I'm gonna have to call you when I want to go ziplining because I want to do that one day.
Yes.
some some zip lining somewhere.
The zip lining and bungee jumping, I want to try.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Wow, I did not know. I mean, I guess we have some introverts. I can be in hermit mode a lot of times just because it's just too much energy out here, right? And there's
Yes.
nobody you can recharge with, so you just go in your shell.
Yes, and it's the constant, dealing in the media. You're constantly dealing with people. Your phone is always going off. Social media, you got to keep that
Yeah.
going. And I also work at a hotel, so I'm always dealing with people. So it's like it's hard. You deal with so much energy throughout the day. I really
Mm.
sit in the room sometimes. I don't want to be bothered. Like I
Mm.
gotta I gotta keep in check with myself because I be
Right.
losing myself sometimes.
Yeah. No, that's for real. I have to lock
Yes.
my look. I have to lock my doors and pretend I'm not here in the house.
Yes. Or you
Listen,
try to be quiet so nobody wants, like they won't even notice I'm home.
yeah. And they go, and it's funny because it's like, Mom, why are you in the bathroom, in the closet? So,
The only time I get.
right? Oh my
Yes.
gosh, definitely a balance there. Um, so, if you had your choice of three podcasters to open up a show for, who would they be?
Oprah will be one.
Okay.
Um, yeah, she's a woman feminist. I love her. She stands for us, and I just feel like she would be very, very supportive.
Yeah.
My second person would be, that's a hard one. I know Oprah was my first one. Tyra Banks.
Okay. I
I just
like
like the way
her.
she carried herself, and then she also dealt with a lot of stuff as far as being a woman in the
Mhm.
industry. I feel like that would be very motivating as well. She would be able to help me get over a lot of obstacles that we
Mm.
deal with that we don't know that we face on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And she also had to deal with her height and weight, and
Mhm.
so I'm just like, how did you
Yeah.
maintain that? And you came out strong.
Mhm.
Yes. And my third one,
Yeah.
oh, it would be Trent Shelton.
Ah, okay. Oh.
Yes, he keeps me on my toes every single day. As motivating, and my son plays football, so that's why I follow him a lot. He got hurt playing football,
Mm.
and he had to find a backup career. So that was always my fear as a mom with my middle son.
Mm.
Like, what if something happens to you,
Mm.
or what would I, But so I just carried him for the majority of
Mhm.
my years of toting him, and I still carry him today. Like, yes.
Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah. Middle, I wonder if he's like my son. But always I call look, my middle child, he doesn't like being called firecracker because he's an Aries and he just yeah, God of War.
Well,
That's
mine's is a Pisces, so he's really laid back. So
oh, okay.
football kind of opened him up. Yeah, he's real quiet, probably sneaky.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. 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 Keep you
The
on your
baby is the
toes.
firecracker.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So we have a firecracker in the house.
Yes, I do got one.
So
I'm
is that
paying for it.
Oh, it's that one. Right, right.
Yes.
So, what is one important lesson that you've learned in working in the entertainment business?
Keep God first.
Mm, for sure.
No matter what we go through, no matter what we face,
Hmm.
keep him first. Try not to take in too much energy or too many things that people say, because sometimes those words can discourage you. So if you don't have a real personal relationship with him, then you will find yourself lost, dealing with depression, your weight, insecurities,
Hmm.
trying to fit in, or even with social media, you find yourself like, well, my podcast ain't like theirs, and why I can't do this, or so it's keeping him like first, and just knowing that he got you where you're supposed to be for a reason.
Hmm.
So just wait your turn.
Hmm. Most definitely. And most importantly, enjoy the journey, right?
Yes.
While we're doing this, because,
You
girl,
get
I
you
feel,
get caught up in the work.
yeah.
I just had a breakdown last week. Literally, just so much pressure built up, but it kind of like brings you back to yourself. Like, what am I doing? Like,
Uh-huh. I had a look, I had a come to Jesus moment too.
yeah, like like my bad. I just needed to get that out.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
it's okay, because then you have, people that come to you and say, I really appreciate your show. I really
yeah.
appreciate your support. And then that's what, like, ties you to with your craft and what you're doing. It's
And
just,
I do that daily. Like that's my secret. Like every day before I go to sleep, I go back through my promos or I go back through the conversations. I
Mhm.
constantly listen to my past podcasts of people that I've talked to, and I, remind myself like these people believe in me. Like when
Mhm.
nobody else didn't believe in me, they believed in me, and that's why I'm where I'm at. So
Mhm.
can't stop.
I know, right? Can't stop, won't
I
stop.
can't stop.
They're gonna be finding your cell phone number.
And that's crazy because I did have my cell phone number on social media, and one of my homeboys hit me up. He was like, "Yo, take your cell phone number off of there." I was like, "Why? It's a business. The people." He was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay. Got
That's
it."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's only for VIP people.
That's it. I had to learn that. I'm like, "No, it's a business. Anybody can call." It's like, no, we
No,
got crazy people out there.
you know what? That's true. Cause like I have my business, and now you got me thinking. My business card. Maybe I should take out my number, cause I don't
Yes, it's
know.
like if they can't email you, and then if you can't figure out if you want to give them your number, yeah,
Uh,
you're gonna have some weird people calling.
okay. I need to go look at
Yay!
those cards again.
No, we beautiful women out here. Gotta put.
That's so true. So true. Well, if you weren't doing this podcast, what would you be doing?
I would be a surgical tech. I
Ah,
actually was a surgical tech. I was going to school for it. I was doing everything I needed to do for it. Got to my internship and walked out, and this is when I started doing this. I just felt like that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. Like being a surgical tech, I can't even talk to people. We just sit there for
true.
hours and hours. But I love people, and I felt like that was a way of helping people, and being able to help people get up and get back to their real selves, or
Oh,
having surgery on them, or helping them breathe again. That
yeah.
was something I wanted to do, but I'm like, I did like a 12-hour shift, couldn't move, just standing there with the surgeon, no talking, nothing to drink. I was like, this ain't for me. This ain't. Can't go to the bathroom. If you got to go to the bathroom, you got to switch out, you got to unscrub, you got to go to the bathroom, come back, re-scrub, get back. I'm like, nah, that's too much. But that's what I would be doing.
Oh wow. Is that like for a heart surgery or something? Is that like a a major type
That's
of
for any
surgery?
type of surgery. So you have always, as a surgical tech, you have to scrub. So if you're scrubbing in with the surgeon, he always picks the surgical tech that he wants to stand next to him. So if you're standing in there next to that surgeon, you cannot move. You hand him what he needs to get. Don't if you hold in a place where he's trying to get in, can't move, can't mess up, can't have shaking
true.
hands. You can't none of that stuff because any little thing
Yeah,
could mess up. So yeah,
that's true.
it's real out there in the
Oof.
nurse in the medical field.
Mhm.
So shout out to the surgical techs that's out
I know, right?
there.
Shout out to all the clinicians. I'm glad I'm a
Yes.
non-clinician. I'm in public health, and I'm like, at one point I wanted to go medical school, but I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
And that's crazy. My daughter's a RN, so she does it and she loves it. So I'm just like, yeah, it just
Uh-huh.
skilled me, and yeah, it was for you.
That's so true. Well, we're here, so that's better than having to stand
Yeah.
still for 12
I
hours.
take this any day. I'll be like, talk to me about your job. Like when I call her throughout the day, I'm interviewing her. How was your day? What happens with this patient? Like I'm interviewing her because she need a counselor just as well as we do. So
That's
yeah.
so true. Wow, it's amazing. So, how do you feel uh, the internet? How do you feel about the internet, and how has it impacted you in your podcasts and radio journey?
How do I feel about the internet? I With social media, it is a plus and it's a minus.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm a hands-on person. I like to be, you know, if you was here, I would rather have a live interview than be talking to you right here. I can't touch you. I can't feel. I can't see. So social media keeps us connected, but not connected enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I feel about social media.
Well, I'm gonna have to fly down to Florida. Shoot, you can come
Yes,
up here to the DMV too now. But I look, I'll come to Florida, get that suntan,
I was about to
the
say I
beach
can't do the
weather,
cold. You gotta come to Florida.
right? Look, I was thinking about moving down there at one point in my life. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
We're gonna be in trouble.
We might be neighbors.
Yes.
Uh oh.
It's
Yeah, we
always
both be
good to
trouble.
have a partner that's close.
I know, right?
Yes.
Um, if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be in this industry?
Because I like to deal with the mental aspect, I would change that. I would just wish that people would be more transparent with themselves.
Mm,
We deal with a lot of people, especially me dealing with artists.
mhm,
They come and they're so broken, and when you really start building relationships with them, it's hard to get into them because they don't want you to get into them. So
mm,
it becomes a war. Like, let me help you, and it's like I don't need your help, and it's like yes,
yeah.
you do need my help. So I just wish that people would be more open with themselves, be able to deal with themselves more, and because you don't know who you're talking to, or you don't know what that person's going through, and you may
Yeah.
be hurting them more than you're hurting yourself. If that person's going out on a limb for you, and you get to a certain spot, and you have a breakdown somewhere, and it's like, well, what's going on? It's like I can't do this no more,
Mm,
you
yeah.
know. And it's people that I know that have walked away because of fear or
Mm.
dealing with mental things, and it's like I can't do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, I mean, I'm sure that there's other like resources that they can get a hold of, that we can, provide to them. But yeah, at the end of the day, that is difficult to.
Yes. I did an interview with a producer the other day, and he was like, artists are always asking for beats and beats. And he's like, he doesn't like to really just send out beats. He likes to have a personal conversation with them because I don't want to just send you a beat and you're a Christian. I might be sending you something, you know,
Mm.
a little too hardcore, or it might got a background, something in it that you might don't want to use, and now you're
Yeah.
thinking that I'm just. So he was like, yeah, I want to know what you are going through, or what you're dealing with, or what you're rapping about. Let me see your lyrics before I send you
Right.
a beat. Like, and I'm like, that's deep.
Yeah. Oh, but that takes a lot of foresight because you like you say, you never know what a person's going through or what the person wants to sing about or rap about. So
Right.
very, very true. I like that. I want to be a fly in your wall. So I can
I
see
try to
what's.
be as transparent, like I really do, because I feel like if you can deal with my ugly side, then you can always deal with my soft side. But if you can never deal with my ugly side, we ain't gonna be friends long. Cause
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not perfect, and I go through stuff, and I wake up mad,
Hmm.
and some days yeah. If you
Uh-huh.
can't deal with that, it's like,
Yeah. No, look, that's true. We all have a side, multiple
yes,
sides, maybe.
yes.
You definitely need multiple sides when you're dealing with media, right?
Dealing with voices in your head, it's like I'm fighting every day.
Uh, I
Yes,
know. I know. That's why I turn to meditation. I've been doing this meditation every morning and affirmations because nobody's going to tell you you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're intelligent. You have to tell
and if you
yourself.
do hear it, it's not the type that you want. So I dealt with that as well. I when I first started out doing podcasting or hosting, I felt like that I was only getting into certain places because of the way I looked, or because, and I'm like, I don't want people. So when I first came back out with my podcast on social media, I was no face for 2 years.
Mm.
I literally hustled on Spotify and Anchor and with no face. So Nala had no face. And then one day I just was like, all right, I'm ready to come back out. And
Oh,
then, because I wanted people to like me for what I do. Hear my voice, hear what I'm saying.
yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. When
Yeah.
people surprised when they put the face to the oh, we have like internet. Okay. It's like going in and out sometimes. Were they surprised when you put your face out there with the voice? They were like, "Oh yeah, that's right. That I
Yeah,
that's
because before I became Nala, I was called the Lioness. But it was so many women using that name, I felt like that it was being misused. Like you didn't know why I was
oh,
calling myself a lioness. You didn't know
mm,
why I wasn't just doing it true. Yes, I'm a Leo, but I'm a true Leo. So I wanted you to understand, like I wasn't just calling myself a lioness because I was born in August, or I was like, I wanted you to understand, like, my life is a total lion. Like, I had to be
yes.
strong. I had to be courageous. It was
Mm-hmm.
times when I was almost homeless and didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I had to be a real lion out here,
Mm-hmm.
for me and my kids. And nobody knew that because I always smile. Like, I'm always smiling. So you never
Mm-hmm.
know, so you don't never know what I'm going through behind that.
Right?
But it's like, yeah, so I changed lioness to the not to Nala because lioness was the real roar, and Nala
Yeah.
is the soft person. So Nala is real, yeah,
Ah,
humble. She's more humble,
okay.
laid back, understandable. I'll listen to you. I won't try to be like, well, it's my way,
On the highway.
or the highway. Get out. Yes, I struggled all that for the longest, even in relationships, with men. It was just like, and I'm the only child, a military brat, so I carried it very, very
Ooh.
strong. Yes, I was very, very strong. So it's like, no, you can't tell me. My daddy
Mm-hmm.
said, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like like, you ain't gonna get no man like that, sis. You gotta calm down.
Look, look, it's not why I'm still single.
Yes, we gotta calm down.
Look, that's a fight. Okay, so, but it does take a special person to handle this, right?
Yes.
It does take a special. maybe alpha male type to handle us because I mean, I'm not, no pun intended to the beta males, but I've married one, dated several in the past, but it's one of those things where I think we come against the grain with competition when you don't want to be in that competition or that challenge, but just in general, it's alluring to people, right?
Right.
And you can't help it though. You can't help but try to provide support, and it's taken in a bad way, right? In a
Right.
bad light. It's
It's
like,
looked at as in a bad thing. It's like, I'm sorry that I'm weak, but I'm not weak like that. Like I'm built on a bricks. Like, but I can be softened. And I think sometimes with me, it comes with being safe. That's even in my friendships and anything. Like, if I don't feel safe with you, I always got a guard up. I
yeah.
always sit back. I won't open up to you. You can't
Mhm.
get me to talk. This is Nala speaking, not Lamika. So, you won't get me to talk about a lot of things in my life because I'm
Mhm.
afraid that you will take them and use them against me. And I feel
Mhm.
like that's what a lot of people do, especially with women. And most of my relationships have been abusive, not all like physical, but with words, because that was the
Mhm.
only way they felt like they could break me. And
Mhm.
those words really did break me because they would play over and over in my head. And I'd be like, I'm not pretty enough, or nobody's ever going to want me, or, you know,
Yeah.
I can't do this, or I can't go outside because this and this, and yeah, I dealt with all that, so I was like, I'm not finna go through that.
Yeah. You're not alone. It's funny, like our how we're mirroring each other because ever since growing up with the same thing. And it's not like, you want to be friends, but it's the whole oh,
You,
okay.
you,
The whole, jealousy and envy. But it is what it is, right? And what I've learned is you just have to step into your own light, and those that rock with you will rock with you.
I
Yeah.
got this story. So I grew up. I was from a all white town. I tried out for cheerleading when I was like in middle school, going into high school. Everybody was like, "You ain't gonna make it. You black. You ain't gonna make it." Da, 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 da. So when I did, I ended up making it.
Hmm.
I had some black friends, but you could tell that it was animosity in some things. So when I graduated, I completely left my hometown. I didn't feel I just it was like I fell off the earth or whatever. So they were
Yeah.
looking for me. I didn't want to talk to anybody because mentally I was still dealing with things from high school, from some of the stuff that y'all was saying to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was good enough or this and that to even be around you guys, even though I was a cheerleader. Like I still didn't feel like I was good enough. So I ended up I moved to Macon, just trying to find myself. I stayed in Atlanta. I went back to my hometown, and then I came to Florida. I'm just flopping, just going everywhere by myself. And then and I was just like, it got to be more than life. Like, why am I trying so hard to fit in? Again,
Yeah.
dealing with my mental. Like, why do I care if they're my friend or not? Like, so I
Right.
was going to this church, and this pastor had told me literally, he was like, whatever you do, don't ever go back to your hometown. And I
Mm.
was like, my family's there, my mom's
Yeah.
there, my kids there.
Yeah.
Ended up
Yeah.
going back. I'm just now starting my podcast. I'm like, I had this heart, like my city got to believe in me first before anybody else
Mhm.
believe in me. Went
Yeah.
back, try to get people to be, befriend them, and be again my mouth, and a lot of people can't take it. It's like, well, who she thinks she is, or she thinks she better than everybody, or we don't want to do that what she doing, or I ended up getting into fights and arguments with
Mm.
people from high school, and we grown now. So I'm just like, what am I not doing? So I just knew it was time for me to go. So I ended up back here, and I was just like, I never look back. I don't look back. I'm just like, I don't go back.
Wow. Well, well, sometimes you just got to leave that past and start a fresh, new universe.
Right.
As you can tell, I love Marvel and DC comics.
It was
But
like I was doing the right thing. Like I quit my
yeah.
job. I called my best friend. I'm like, come get me. Going through a relationship or whatever.
Hmm.
And I was just like, come get me. I'm ready to go. 6 o'clock in
Hmm.
the morning. She's like, what? Come get me, please.
Yeah.
Came here, didn't have nothing, no job, no money, no nothing. But I was like, I can survive. I can get a job.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
be okay. You know. So she was like, okay, whatever you want to do, whatever. So I ended up doing all that, and I'm like, every step that I made after that, it was like it was a blessing. Like everything I touched was interviews,
Yeah.
podcasting, going out meeting people,
Hmm.
getting interviews with certain people that I never thought I would be talking to. My job was a blessing. I got my job in
Hmm.
like 2 weeks of being here, and I'm still there and moved up. So
Wow.
I'm like, everything I touched was like a blessing. So it was like,
Hmm.
I'm going in the right direction, but I still feel like, what am I not doing? I'm
Mm.
still gonna always have that thought, but I know that I'm doing the right thing.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
definitely. Especially when the doors start opening, and that's the crazy thing is that the universe, right? God, the universe, how they work is that you know that you're in the right place when people are coming to you for an interview or just a chat or whatever your opinion, idea, um, even just to say hello because they see your presence. You're like a light bearer, right? And
right.
a lot of it's a fortunate and unfortunate, but we are like the sun. So
Right.
um
And it'd be weird to me because I'm not used to it. I would have people and be like, I'll come all the way to, Jacksonville and I'll get an interview. And I'm like, no, you ain't. We can do it on Zoom. And they're like, no, I'm gonna come. And me and my friend one time a dude came all the way from up north. We picked him up from the airport and spent the day with them and did a whole interview with me. And he was just happy, and I'm like, you didn't have to come all the way here just for a 45-minute interview. You didn't have to, but
wow.
that's what he wanted to do. So I was just like, I'm honored.
Yeah. That's amazing. It's
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know, we have to talk about this offline, but
Look, I yeah.
we gotta talk about this offline. Woo! Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
And I have to ask her sometimes, be like, these people want to come on. She'll be like, it's okay. I'm like, no, we can just do it on Zoom. She was like, no, that means that they really respect you. They really, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just a little too much for me. But I'm not used to that type of love either. So that might be why I struggle with trying to
Mhm.
take it in because I'm just like, no, that's just too much. That's that's too much. Females, yeah, okay, but when men do it, I'm just like, no, just it's
I know, right?
okay.
Be having like bouquets of flowers up in Power 904. Like now, like this whole room is for you. All these roses and stuff. Like I don't know where to put the teddy bears.
I wouldn't even know how to take it. I'd be like, send it back. Who sent it? Send it back to the
Right?
people. Why are they sending flowers? What's up with that? Yeah,
Hey,
nah, I
it's
ain't got there yet. Yeah.
look now after I said it, they
Yeah,
were like they were like, oh, that's a great idea.
I ain't got there yet.
We'll see. Let me know next week. So where, where do you find your inspiration?
At the beach.
Okay, I
It's
love
yeah.
the beach.
Just hearing the water run, watching the waves. It's peaceful. It's
Mhm.
quiet. Um, I get more of my inspiration or my motivation from there. Like looking at how peaceful it is, it lets me know how in a peaceful situation that I'm in to be able to do what I need to do. Like there's nothing blocking me. I can clear my head And then once I leave, I'm ready to work.
Yeah. So always, yeah, definitely need that.
And even in the shower, like anything with water is peaceful
Yeah.
to me. When I go to the nail shop where I go at, it's just they have this big old water thing and it's just running and all you hear is the water sounds. And then they're doing your nails and feet and they have this meditation music going. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, this is like heaven.
Mm, sounds
Yeah.
like it. Look, look, I'm making my plans in my head. Okay, when am I
Yes.
gonna come down to Florida? I'm,
Come
s-
to the water.
I'm for
Come
real.
to the water.
Look, I'm for real. I might not even want to come back.
Yeah. We got plenty of work for you to do down here.
Oh. Okay, I'm down. Definitely. So, what's the best advice you can that you've been given?
Be myself.
Okay.
Be myself. No matter what. At the end of the day, I'm the only one that have to do. Let people know who you are and let people love you for who you are. Even on my interviews, on
Mhm.
myself, people get on and be like, "So do I?" I'd be like, "No, I'm not scripted." I'd be like, "No, just be yourself. Just come on here, like
Yeah.
we best friends or something." And
Yeah.
that's I get that I get a good feel out of that, and I also build good relationships through that because people are able to be themselves, where else everywhere else they feel like they gotta. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. That's so true. I mean, being in the military and the service and working in the government, it's like you have to be a certain way all the time.
I
It's
work in the corporate world too, so having a 9 to 5, when I go to work, if you call my job, you wouldn't even know it was me. But when I leave, I'd be like, "Girl."
whew, I know, right?
But when I'm there, I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" I and I'll just be so, just ready to go because it's like it's so corporate. It's just so
Ah,
corporate.
but look, the lattes are good though, right? I mean,
Yes.
they got look. One thing about corporate is the coffee machine. You got a nice water, whatever, Fiji,
The discounts,
Evian, whatever.
the
Right, the
discounts.
discounts. Look, can I get a discount?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, hopefully nobody
yes.
listens to our show.
Right, because they're gonna be blowing me up on my inboxes. Be like,
Uh,
no.
but I'm cousin, you know.
Right. When we went to school together,
Wait,
when we was in
yeah,
third grade together,
yeah,
be like,
yeah, yeah.
no, I don't remember you.
Oh, see,
No.
we be back together. I'm telling you, right now.
Yeah, my facial expressions are the worst. Like my best
Uh-huh.
friend had to tell me, and when I first started doing my interviews, I would be sitting on here and somebody could say something. I'd be like, what are you talking about? She was like, you really need to work on your facials.
Uh-huh, me too.
I'm
Just,
like,
just
are they that bad? She was like, yeah, they bad. And then I would go back and I would watch the interviews, and I'm still insecure about it now. Like I would hang up and be like, I wonder how much if I made a facial to the person when they said this or did. Yeah, and I have
we
to get they.
look,
It's bad.
look. We need to put our COVID mask on, so that way.
Yes, you can't see nothing. But I think my eyes would tell it too, because I stretch them, or I'd be
Oh.
like, "Girl, did he say did he say that?" Yes, I tell on myself.
We could put our shades on with it,
That
mask
might
and
help.
shade,
Yeah, you won't see no eye movement because I would look at you real quick with the corner eye and be like, "Did you hear that?"
Oh my lord. Be like, okay. You ever had like a show where you just wanted to crack up, like start laughing, but it's some serious stuff, some serious topic or something. You're like,
Yeah. So I just told my best friend about that today as well. So listen, we working at a hotel, we have to get emails of people. So someone called and their email was black to black, ASS. So my boss was like, spell it. And I'm like, are you free? He was like, well, I can't say it. And I'm like, people need to just, change that. How you still got an email like that and you grown? How you feel comfortable with coming up in here saying that's your email? Yeah, that's no, we got to change that. They said it so boldly. So yeah, that was one of my moments because I'm looking at his face and he was sitting there like trying to be all serious.
Mm-hmm.
She just really say that like it was nothing, and he was like, just spell it.
Wow. Yeah, I'll be like, that lifeline that you do on the.
Pull it. I need to call a friend.
I need to call Nala right quick.
I need to call a friend. Yes. Cause some stuff, yeah.
That's really interesting. That is an interesting thing having to deal with the entertainment industry. Okay.
Yes.
So what's next for Nala, and what message would you like to give your fans and up and coming entertainment podcasters, music artists, entertainment folks?
Well, what's next for me is growing with Power 904 and building on our Radar magazine. We are starting to build, hopefully crossing my fingers, to build a mini team. I wasn't comfortable with going out in the clubs due to my situations in the past, but now I'm ready to get back out there. I just need a safe space. So I think I found that. So starting tonight, we got our first little thing. So I'm about to, as soon as we done with that, we're having artist appreciation night. So we will be there doing that. After that, we will try to do showcases or events at least every Thursday, try to build with that. And I want to be able to bring artists from the north to the south. That's a big thing that we have a difficult time doing. And nobody really knows about the independent artists in the South, and the South doesn't know about the North. So one day just want to have a big showcase where I can bring all those artists together, and we have a big showcase, artist event. They don't say showcases no more, so we don't say that. So, we're going to have a big event.
Right.
And show out. If I could, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
If I could leave anything with anybody today, it would be the same thing. Keep God first, no matter what you go through. If you having problems trusting yourself, it's not on us. Believe in God first, because He's in control of everything. He's the direction of our lives. If you don't believe in God and you believe in something out there in the universe, follow the universe. Because sometimes we're emotional beings, and living off your emotions will lead you in the wrong path. And that's one thing I've learned. Like, keep your emotions, even in your relationships, friendships. Don't make decisions off of that. Sit down, think about it. Pray about it, meditate about it. If it takes 2 or 3 days for you even think, get to an answer, it's okay. You don't have to answer right then. And sometimes people feel like I got to answer right now. You don't have to. So that's something that I will leave with people. The second thing is always, no matter what, no matter where you go, always be yourself.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Always. So that's the 2 things I will leave with people.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying about well, we don't call it showcase. What do we call it again, Nala? I just want to make sure my terminology is accurate.
You got to find another word for it. Whatever you want to name your event, just don't say showcase.
Oh, okay. All right, I have to think about that.
You can say, a summit. You can call it a summit. Just don't say showcase.
Yeah, summit.
They think we're trying to take their money. You know,
Oh.
people have been so robbed out of the things and
Oh.
all these mini showcases they've been having, and
Hmm.
you know they don't want to hear that. It scares them away sometimes.
Ooh, that's good tip. Look, we need to come. I need to get offline here after the show. We can go through our list of terminology, so that way I'm making sure I'm not saying the wrong thing.
They,
Um, okay. It looks like it's going in and out. Okay, there you are. So it's funny that she had mentioned what you wanted to do because I feel like you're in my brain for some reason. you know, but
I
we'll
could
talk off.
be.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. Is there anything else you would like to say to our audience tonight?
Come get your interviews. I have
Right?
so much going on. I just need you guys to stick with me, participate. We have so many things to offer you guys as far as being different platforms. I've been offered so many positions to be on different platforms. Those opportunities were given to me. I want to be able to take some of my artists with me. I believe in you just as much as you believe in yourself. Don't be looking for me to push you when you're not pushing yourself, because that lets me know that
Mm,
you don't believe in yourself. So that's something else that I would say, because it's important. In the media
right.
world, you know, you want to come and everybody's like, I want to interview, and it's like, what you gonna talk about? Because nobody will talk about, you know. He's like, I'm an artist, and I'll be like, oh well, your page is not even set up like an artist. Where's your
Mm,
stuff? You know, where's your
right.
where I need to be able to see that.
Right. For sure.
So
For
a lot of
sure.
them don't know that, and I think artist development is something I carry a lot, but I do it out of the goodness of my heart. A lot of people make you pay for it, but that just comes with working with me, being around me. I just feel like being able to input that in you. When I look back years later and I was a part of that, that means a lot to me. So
Mm-hmm. Mic drop on that.
yeah,
I don't have any like background noise. I need to come up with that later on for the show. You know how they
like the
drop the
DJ's
bomb and
got,
all that.
yo.
I get there. But so this is streaming right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, I will be adding this to our Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channels and all the social media platforms. Nala in the Den, and I have everything listed on this feed. And after that, after the show, I'll add also the Instagram reel. Unfortunately, Instagram is special because, I don't know why there's that special with Meta. But nonetheless, hold tight, Nala. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Please tap in, follow Nala and In the Know 360. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye guys.